So a lot of people are wondering what signature force actually is, and how do I actually get benefit off of getting the signature force, or what kind of bonus are they getting exactly? So here's the thing. So far, there are only 3 countries that are available for us: Brune, North Von Frost, Seastories. But we all know that Brune only has three faded hero, which is Dorka, Naomi, and Kylock. All of the rest is just a rare, which is the Brune masked people, and those 2 stars. So it's not really worth going deep for Brune, unless you are going for the machine damage bonus for your Brune. Okay. It's supposed to be adding the damage bonus onto Brune heroes only. Okay, but apparently there is some kind of issue out there that's letting other heroes that are not Brune to get the bonus damage off of machine. I can't go in details into that to avoid future misusage or abusing. And it's also not guaranteed neither. I heard there's a rumor regarding that. So if I make my Shifraken signature force stronger, then I'm adding a dark type damage to my North Von Frosty heroes. And we all know who's in North Von Frosty, the range, Shifraken, Lepin as well. I'll actually put those there in a country as in country line in my Exos Heroes Bible. So check Exos Heroes Bible if you want to know which hero belongs to in which country. So it says I'll be adding 409. Let's just call it 5k. Okay, we're adding 5k damage per 1 mana consumed. This means, let's say I have a skill that requires 1 mana to use. Then I'm dealing a extra 4.9 or 5k damage because I'm using 1 mana to use a skill. And if it's a single target, I'm dealing a whole 5k damage into that hero that I'm targeting. And it's also a defense of basically a penetration damage. So it ignores any kind of armor. So it's a pure damage. Basically, think of it as a pure damage. Although it has the chance to crit, block, or even miss, think of it as like a wrath. It also has individual chance of blocking or critting or dodging. But let's say if I'm attacking 2 heroes with my skill, or 5 heroes with my skill, then you divide this by 5, which is 1k, but add a little bit more. So it's a little bit more than 1k if it's all target damage. So it's not exactly divided by the numbers that I'm attacking. Rather, it's a little bit higher than so. Okay. Also, if my skill requires 5 mana, then I'm not dealing 5k damage. I'm dealing 5k times 5, which is 25k damage on top of it, because I'm using 5 mana. So if I'm using 10 mana burst, imagine how much damage it's gonna be dealing. Only belongs to the only affecting the North Von Frost heroes. I actually do happen to have a Shifraken. Unfortunately, I think I locked it. So let me go back a little bit. So that's how Signature Force works. Okay. Not only they're adding the damage, they're also giving a step buff as well. Let me go over that. So with that in your mind, you know how Brune will add you machinery damage. North Von Frosty will add you dark damage. Wasted Red, which is Scarf, will be adding light damage. And Le Nombre, which will be adding fire damage. Aestrist, which will be adding nature damage. And Greenland adding the frost damage. This is very important that Greenland is dealing frost damage. And the reason being is that you remember how when FC Valentina came out, unfortunately, because due to Summer Blessing, we are not able to use Valentina at full potent, because Valentina simply cannot deal damage. And if Valentina cannot deal damage, that means your Valentina will not be able to proc the passive, the mana burn, or the bind. You see, the content basically. Mana burn and blind will be applied if you attack the one targeted under Fear Abyss, which is important why you have to make your Shifraken strong enough, or not strong enough, to have highest defense. To everyone, to literally everyone. Mana burn everyone and and bind everyone. Bind meaning you will not make enemies to earn mana. Bind meaning not being able to earn or gain mana, okay? So unfortunately, Valentina cannot be used yet because you need some other frost damage dealer to proc it, which is Bathory. But in that case, let's say you have Bathory, and let's say you have Bathory attack speed higher than Valentina, which is likely. If your Valentina dies, if your Bathory dies, if your Valentina gets stunned or silenced, if your Bathory gets stunned or silenced, this was very hard combo to pull off. You need to be able to let those two survive so that Bathory can proc the Summer's Blessing and Valentina following up. So it's a very hard combo. But if you have Greenland available on Signature Force, I don't know when they're going to be unlocking it, but when they unlock Greenland, and when we have Bathory's damage or frost damage being applied to all of the Greenland hero, do you know who's still on meta? FC Rera is still on meta. With FC Rera, you are going to be actually able to deal a frost damage with Rera. That means with Rera alone, you are able to break the Summer's Blessing, meaning your Valentina is not as much as relying on to other frost hero. Your Valentina is capable of doing the mana burn and bind without Bathory, which will actually bring a huge change, which is also a huge buff onto North Farm Frosty. Right now, North Farm Frosty is really strong because there are a lot of good heroes being available on North Farm Frosty. Oops, hold on. So with that, I am gonna be able to deal a huge damage on altogether whenever my North Farm Frosty people attacks. If I do have more Shifraken, I actually can make my team even much stronger because I'm not only gonna gaining HP, I'm getting the bonus stat off of it. So my Shifraken as well will gain the bonus defense, which is likely for my Shifraken to give Fear of Abyss onto the enemy Shifraken. So you need to have your Shifraken the one with the highest defense, even amongst the enemy side, to make sure that you're giving the Fear of Abyss onto everyone else. Okay, this includes enemy Shifraken. So actually, it's gonna be harder for us to challenge the Whalers because Whalers are likely to be unlocking not only this, unlocking this one as well. If they have unlocked this, we are kind of, I mean, how are we gonna be winning against rankers? We are not supposed to be destroying Whalers, right? So it's kind of giving the Whalers in a way that that they can fight better stat wise. You see that defense buff. So with the new pass that we are getting, and with possible premium pass of purchase, we are to select one of those 5 general. So don't be like, let's just go for Dorka because I don't have Dorka. You have to think through. Do you want to invest onto your Waste Red? Do you want to invest on your Greenland? Do you want to invest on your North One Frosty and vice versa and blah blah blah? Think of what you want to do because us shrimps or a little fish is not capable of getting all five of Signature Force being invested. We are probably forced to go for one land, one country, okay? And if that's the case, you gotta think wisely. And here are the benefits. If you choose Lunomb, here's a huge benefit of Lunomb. Lunombs are usually the one with the warrior or assassin. And I'm talking about warrior-wise, I'm talking about Rakiel, Zeon, Gale. And assassin-wise, there's Baraka. Wait, is Baraka in here? Actually, I'm not sure if Baraka is in Lunomb. Let me actually check. Hold on. Let me check if Baraka is in East Trace or Wasted Red. A lot of confusion there. with the new changes. Let me just yes. So Baraka is under Le Nombre, and Baraka is assassin. So Baraka has high attack speed. So your Raykill, Baraka, Xeon are capable of going first because you're likely to go first because those have higher attack speed. Meaning, you are, and also do know that your Raykill is capable of refreshing your own turn. Your Baraka is capable of refreshing his own turn. Your Xeon is capable of refreshing his own turn if you are using the golden FC Xeon, the Dragon Knight Xeon, paired up with Raykill. So there is a chance that you are literally ending the game without giving the enemy the turn to attack for. You literally have the lineup capable of going first and then refreshing your turn every time you make a kill, which is possible because with the high investment on Le Nombre, you are to have a supreme stats on your Le Nombre guys. So there's a benefit and on Le Nombre being able to finish the game even before enemy has the turn starts. Greenland, there's a benefit that I mentioned for your Rera to be able to deal frost damage, which will actually synergize better with your Lord Farm Frost 16 lineup. For Istris, unfortunately, I cannot think of a lineup that they can bring. The best one I can think of is just to add your light damage on your Deva, because Deva belongs in Istris, and your Baelish as well. Jin can be useful in here, but the problem is Jin requires so little mana to use his skills. Jin literally requires so little mana to use his skill that Jin is not getting those damage bonus better than anyone else. It's just minimum. So this one we gotta hold on to Istris. I'm not sure what kind of benefits that Istris may bring onto your team. Maybe there's other comp that I'm not aware. And Wasted Red, this is really important because apparently Wasted Red has Garth and Rodley. Garth Rodley is a combo that's as good as the old times, even better than Jinai. It's been there like for a while. It's been there before there was Spot 3 Uldum. Like this combo is well designed and well proven to be good, especially with FC Rodley and FC Garth together. You are kind of being able to deal a maximum damage output with the superior survivability given to your whole team, because FC Rodley gives you a mana, HP and defense stats on your team. So does your Garth, giving HP and defense. Think of it. You're getting HP and defense on top of those stat bonus. You're getting extra HP and extra defense on top of that. Meaning you're likely to survive all of those PvE contents, especially the dragon, the Holy Dragon Ground. You are to be able to clear phase 4, even clear phase 4 with the Wasted Red open. Okay, so if you are not really favoring PvP, rather you want to focus on PvE, like Holy Dragon or other future contents, or even what you call that? You Pierce Labyrinth. This is a way to go. Keep going deep for Wasted Red. Lord Von First, I went over that. And Brune is kind of difficult. It's really good, apparently, but the problem is there are so limited Pures available. There are literally 3. Dorka, Naomi, Kylok, done. Okay? So maybe there are future Brune characters that's gonna be being released. So if you want to kind of risk on your future new heroes, and if and maybe you'll get payback. Or maybe you will suffer because you went for the one with the least hero pools available for you. So if you're a relatively newbie, or if you're relatively like a minor spender, don't go for Brune, please. It's an investigation with a high risk with the same return. It's a high risk but the same return. Okay, personally, in my opinion, Le Nombre and North Von Frosty will be the high risk, the low risk and high return, in my opinion. The following will be Wasted Red and Greenland. So choose your option wisely. especially on now that we're getting a free general per month. Not free actually. We're getting a general per month with the premium pass available, because I'm pretty sure this will continue on next month as well. So yeah, I personally will be going for Greenland to make my Rera to be able to break. Or actually, let me rephrase. I'm gonna be going for Greenland / North Von Frosty to make my Rera available to deal frost damage, and my Valentina being able to make the enemy team mana burn and bind together. Okay. So that's it for the signature force. If you have any further question, leave comments behind, and I'll see if I can get the answers for you.